Hey, this is Dr. Shannon Tran, Efficiency Executive Coach, helping exhausted and overworked professionals be able to work less, earn more, and enjoy life. Today I want to share the importance of taking responsibility. And I hear from so many busy executives who are feeling disenchanted in their relationships, either at work or at home, when they're dealing with someone who doesn't want to take responsibility for their choices or their actions. And sometimes we can even fall into this as well. So, what does it look like when you don't take responsibility? One is you'll find that you're blaming other people for your choices or your decisions or for the outcome. A second could be where you're in denial. You're not accepting responsibility for your part in a situation. A third could be confusion, right? When we stay in a state of confusion, we're not seeing the truth and we're not taking responsibility for how we may have contributed to the dynamic or the situation that we're in. And this can really erode our relationships when we don't take responsibility. And that's one side. And on the positive side, it can really build trust and rapport and just really create a healthy environment when we can demonstrate and model taking responsibility. So I want to give an example because it just came up this week where I was able to witness this actually with my own boss when we were in a leadership management meeting. And she was able to come in, and I know this was difficult for her, but she was able to come in and say, I made a mistake. And she totally owned up to the mistake. And I can see that as she was sitting in her chair and acknowledging the mistake she made, that she was uncomfortable. It was kind of this awkward silence in the room. And it involved additional conversation about what happened and how that choice influenced our working situation. But even though it was a difficult conversation, when she was able to say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, the impact that it had was it reminded me of why I respect her. It reminded me of why, even when the work is difficult, even when there is high pressure, I choose to be there. And it was such a powerful demonstration of what taking responsibility could look like. And I want you just to think for a moment, like the difference it can make in your life when you can model that for someone. And especially if you're in a leadership role, whether it's as a parent or if you're leading a team or if you're in a relationship with someone else where you're a leader in the relationship, it makes such a difference because when we don't take responsibility, when we don't own up to our mistakes, it can lead to confusion, it can lead to mistrust, and what happens is people don't feel safe. And I want you to think about, do you have an area in your life where you need to take some responsibility, right? Where you need to maybe own up to a mistake, where you need to bite the bullet and have that difficult conversation. And if you're afraid of conversations, in a previous video, I shared how to have a care confrontation, which makes having difficult conversations feel more safe for everyone involved. But this is really an opportunity to think about if you want to step up your game, if you want to be able to perform at a higher level and be the best version of yourself, then honestly, it does require learning to take responsibility for your part and looking at how you might have contributed to the situation, the impact that you make on others. And I know this can be difficult to do when we need to own up to something. I can recall just a couple months ago where, I made a mistake with a coworker and I wanted to avoid her and not talk about it. And my heart was pounding and I was feeling so nervous. And I realized, okay, I could just hide in my office, which I honestly felt like doing, or I could bite the bullet and just have this difficult conversation with her. And I remember like walking down, because we have a long corridor at our office, and I remember walking down that very long corridor toward her office, and my heart is pounding and I'm feeling nervous, and it was uncomfortable. Like, she was upset and she was disappointed, and she told me, and I sat there and I listened to it. I sat there and I listened to it, and I let her share her feeling, and I acknowledged my part in it. And I'm so grateful that it did, because it made such a difference in our relationship. When I was able to own up to my part and correct it, it made such a difference. And if you really care about your relationships, then it's important that you learn to take responsibility for your part. So if this is really resonating with you and really speaking to you, I just want to encourage you to have that difficult conversation. And if you need support, you can reach out to me at support@shannontrandphd.com. I'll even show you I'll send you as a gift the workbook to revitalize your relationships, because in there it does talk about how to look at communication skills and how to practice the style that can really support you in being able to do this. And I would love to give it as a gift to you. So again, thank you so much for listening to this. If there's someone who you know needs to hear this, please feel free to share it. If you're ready to take this to the next level, if you realize that you do not have a foundation for success, that you notice you really need to work on your communication skills, or you need to work on having the right kind of thinking and taking the right kind of action, I'd love for you to join me at my Set for Success Club. This is a really great way to get those foundational skills built in and building in that mindset, so you can really step into your relationships with great leadership skills. And you can learn more at support@shannontrand.com, and I'd love to send you that information. All right, have a great day. Take care. Bye.